Morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today, I'll be walking us through how key economic forces are shaping strategy in the insurance industry, from macroeconomic trend to behavioral shift and the rise of artificial intelligence. We will explore how these forces influence risk, pricing, and planning for the future. Let's start with the big picture, macroeconomic indicators. These include GDP, inflation, and unemployment. GDP tells us how the economy is performing overall. Inflation measures the cost of living and affect policy rates, which in turn affect consumer spending and investment. And unemployment show us the health of the labor market. In insurance, these indicators influence both the demand and products and the type of claims we can expect. For instance, during recession, lapse rate might rise, while in expansion, there may be greater demand for coverage. Understanding where we are in the business cycle help us plan pricing, capital, and distribution strategies accordingly. So, why should insurers care about these economic trends? Because they impact everything from our claim frequency to our reserve levels and solvency requirement. For example, high inflation doesn't just affect consumer behavior, it also increase claim costs, especially in property and auto. Likewise, employment level tie into group benefits and health products. Macro trend help us anticipate risk and guide long-term planning. Next, we will talk about trade wars and tariff. Using the aggregate demand, aggregate supply model as a lens, tariff can reduce demand and create supply shocks. This affect economic output, prices, and ultimately financial stability. For insurer, trade tension introduce volatility, especially in sectors tied to global trade. Business interruption, credit risk, and even political risk coverage become more relevant as these events reshape supply chains. Underwriting must evolve too. Let's take a look at the impact of tariffs through ADAS model, which show the relationship between aggregate demand, aggregate supply, and the overall price level in economy. When tariffs are introduced, especially in the context of a trade war, exports often decline because other countries retaliate with their own tariff. This leads to reduced demand for our goods and services abroad. As a result, AD shift to the left, which you can see here as the dashed blue line. This leftward shift means that at every price level, there's now less demand in the economy. The consequence is a lower level of real GDP, signaling a slowdown in economic activity. At the same time, if tariffs are imposed on imports, the cost of imported goods can rise. This creates cost pull inflation, which businesses face higher input costs and may raise prices, adding inflation pressure. Lastly, with reduced output and slow growth, business may scale backward operation, potentially lead to higher unemployment. So while tariff may aim to protect domestic industry, they can have broader unintended consequences, slower growth, inflation risk, and job losses. Next, I'll be sharing on interest implications. The effect of trade wars don't stop at the macro level, they ripple into our industry. There's a greater risk of business interruption, especially in manufacturing and logistics. Investment portfolio may become more volatile as market react to uncertainty, and for global risk, underwriting become more complex. We also need to dynamically price and model geopolitical risk, something that was once a niche but is becoming a core concern. Now, shifting gears, how people actually make decision matters. Behavioral economics has shown us that decisions aren't always rational. People overweigh losses, procrastinate, and are weighed by framing. In insurance, this can affect everything from how consumers choose policies to how they respond to renewal and claims. So, how can we use this knowledge? By designing smarter nudges like using opt-out features in employer plans, simplifying policy language, or using behavioral cues in digital platform to boost engagement. Behavioral economic can also help us to improve claim processes, prevent fraud, and increase product uptake, especially in underinsured segment. Artificial intelligence is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it boosts productivity and enables us to personalize underwriting, claims, and services at scale. On the other hand, it may widen labor inequality, automating certain jobs while increasing demand for high-skill roles. For insurers, these affect workforce planning, customer segmentation, and risk modeling. We may also see new coverage need emerges, such as income protection in an automated economy. In scenario 1, AI reduce inequality. This happens when AI is used to augment human work, not replace it. Think of AI tools that help workers be more productive, efficient, and capable. In this future, technology doesn't eliminate jobs. It boosts productivity and create new opportunities, especially in tech-related fields. As demand for high-skilled labor rises, so do wages and employment opportunities, leading to shared economic gains. But in scenario 2, AI increase inequality. This occurs when AI is used primarily to replace mid-skills jobs like administrative roles, basic customer service, or some manufacturing tasks. In this future, the displaced worker may struggle to find new roles without retraining. The wage gap widens and economic benefits become concentrated among those with advanced skills or access to capital, while others fall behind. So let's talk about the 5-year outlook and what to expect. Looking ahead, we can expect continued economic volatility, geopolitical risk, and rapid technological disruption. Labor market dynamic will change, inflation may remain sticky, and regulatory environment will keep evolving. For us, it's about staying agile. This means adjusting product design, investment strategies, and risk modeling to keep pace. To wrap up, here are the key takeaways. Firstly, macroeconomic signals should inform pricing and planning. Trade tension raise underwriting and portfolio risk. Thirdly, behavioral science is a powerful tool to improve engagement and reduce risk. Lastly, AI is transforming insurance, but it also reshapes labor and social risk. As leaders, we need to connect these dots and build strategies that are both responsive and resilient. Thank you.